Man, I never expected to be doing a video on the drama between FaZe Rain and Dope is Yola. What's up, peeps? Hope we're all doing well. Welcome back to the channel. Some breaking news as of this morning is Dope is Yola has now responded to accusations made by FaZe Rain, where he says and accuses Yola of scamming him out of $100,000. In case you guys are not aware of either of these people, or maybe just one side, especially if you guys are more of a gaming audience, Dope is Yola is a green bean creator. I want to be monetized here on YouTube, so if you know, you know. He has his own shop. He creates a lot of content, also has an amazing podcast, which ironically so was one of the first times I came across Dope is Yola, was the several podcasts he has done with someone like FaZe Rain. If you somehow don't know who FaZe Rain is, he is an OG creator in the gaming space, most well known for being a part of FaZe Clan. He's been kind of on hiatus for the past few months in content and being a part of FaZe, but not really being a part of FaZe. And now recently, on a podcast with FaZe Swag, accused Yola of scamming him out of $100,000, which then prompted Yola to respond this morning with over an hour-long video bringing his own evidence, text, and receipts and saying that FaZe Rain is lying. So today's video is going to break all of that down for you guys and then some. And I just want to say, please don't send hate, guys. You can leave your thoughts down below, but don't be going and doing your thing to either side here. Just listen to what they have to say, and then you can have your thoughts afterwards. It's gonna be a long one, as this was all prompted at first by Rain himself, as he took to Twitter on July 13th to say, "I tried to be cool with you, LMFAO. You lied in private, lied in person, lied online. I took responsibility for my partner that miscommunicated on my end and tried to make it right for you. You're an effing loser," and showing these messages between the two. And then showing a message where Rain apparently says, "Would you like me to adjust the payment split so you guys retain more money? I don't give an F anymore about the money since it's turned this way. Just want to make sure Eric is paid for his efforts, and I care that everyone feels it's fair. If you genuinely believe people on your end didn't go out of their way to buy it because it was me, I'll respect it and we can adjust splits, etc. I don't do bad business and it bothers me how this turned out, man." To which Yola says, "Yo, what up, dude? Nah, I don't think the splits need to change at all. It's already set." Which timeline-wise was around the same time where Rain also goes on Swag's podcast and has a brief mention of Yola. And we'll get into the payment splits and how this contract and everything of this deal apparently turned out. But then Rain had this to say about Yola.
But it goes to Cliff, right? They want to put a G Fuel decal on. I said, oh, hell no. I said, I'm paying full price. Like, if you buy it for me, I would love to put a G Fuel decal. I was like, no, I'm not doing that. I said, okay. No fucking G Fuel decal on a fucking R8. Crazy, man.
That's ridiculous. You got to pay me a decal on a car?
Yeah. And I never used to get paid from G Fuel. It was just like what I sold. So I worked commission work, but I was a retarded-ass kid that didn't know any better. That's why I'm trying to help the kids, bro. Don't sign out to the corporate people. Like, bet on yourself, bro. I'm telling you. A lot of risk scammers, bro.
You deserve 10
And that's just like that commission shit. I get it in the beginning. It's good in the beginning. Like when I was 15, amazing. But like, you know, when you start doing your shit, you're not doing no damn commission shit.
Hell no.
Like without a payment up front. You know what I mean? I even got scammed by this Dope is Yola dude. I did like a weed pen thing, but he's very fat, so I don't care. He loses in life. Been vegan 7 years, still fat, so he's losing. So I'm glad he has the extra 100K. I hope it makes his life better. You know what I mean?
That's wicked. So after the car, you moved to LA.
And that seems to be a reoccurring theme that Yola brings up, is that Rain liked to insult him and call him fat, which has finally then prompted this response video from Yola this morning, over an hour long, and he tweeted about it, and this is apparently the last time he'll be talking on it, saying, "Clearing the air, this dude is lame as heck. I'm sorry for the negativity. I'll never talk about the situation again after this, but I can't let someone talk about me like I'm a bad person and a scammer. I came with full receipts and explained myself. Have a good day." And here's where we get to the comprehensive breakdown of Yola's entire response. I'm going to try and shorten this as much as possible, guys, as well as link you his full evidence and response down below by a channel known as Liger, who posts a lot of this content, and Yola sent him this full like hour and 15 minutes. That will be down below. But we first get into where Yola says Rain would never show up to the meetings. Apparently, when these conversations would go on between these two parties, that being Dope is Yola and his company, and that being FaZe Rain, he would never show up himself personally, but instead send someone else as his business partner, known as Quinn.
I remember where I was, what sliding glass door. I was by my old house when I jumped up like, let's go! Silently like, FaZe Rain said, just do it, let's go! And he's like, yo, my brand Recovery, I have a weed brand. I go, bro, I'll do whatever you want. You want me to do a video on it? I'll help you whatever you need. Thank you for doing the collab. This is last October, all right? So no, maybe even sooner than that. Who cares? Collab with Goblin is already in the works, and FaZe Rain, we can't do both at the same time. My partner said, hey, Goblin's great. We know he'll do great. But this FaZe Rain is huge in the terms of outside of the weed world. Let's get that collab done first. God, I wish I would have just did that with Goblin. None of this would have happened. So this is what's going on, guys. We gave him a contract. We gave them a contract that said 25%. You post one video, one single video on your YouTube a month. One. That's all we need for you because I post stuff. My whole audience will buy stuff every day because we have a functioning company. But you're FaZe. You have a different demographic. When my boss Claudio, my partner Claudio said, "Hey man, let me ask the bosses." And then he said FaZe to his kids and they all lost their minds. Claudio's not in this world at all. In the video game, he has like 3 kids. And he goes, "Well, my kids lost it. They lost it on the phone." He's like, "This is going to be big." So my partners are so juiced. Let me say that. They're so excited at this point. We have 25% contract. The next day, this is FaZe Rain. This is his friend Quinn. FaZe Rain never shows up to any fucking meetings, so he sends Quinn. Quinn comes over 3 times a week, and John hates it because Quinn will come over for 4 hours every time to talk about the collab, but all he wants to do is smoke John's hash and sit there.
And so this is where we find out the initial part of the deal was going to be Rain to receive 25% of the profits. Not 25% of the revenue, but 25% of the profits. And he would have to post just 1 time per month on his YouTube channel to promote the product, right? Makes a lot of sense. That's a pretty decent commission. But all of these deals for all these different creators out there, you're going to see so many variables. When you get the chance to work with someone like Dope as Yola, though, a 25% commission on what should be a pretty big collaboration for 1 YouTube video a month, I think a lot of people would agree that seems like a pretty good deal. I'm sure Rain is used to very good deals, so I can't speak for him. And then eventually that 25%, it apparently becomes, according to YOLO, it was proposed by Rain and Quinn on their side that instead of 25% of the profits, what if they pay for 50% of those upfront costs and then they get 50% of those profits afterwards? To which Yola and all of them agreed. Let's do it.
About 2 days later, after we give him the contract, remember this is 3 months before we even launched. I think we launched in like fucking November. I couldn't tell you. It kept taking so long because they wouldn't sign the contract. Ready for this? They come back to us 2-3 days later and go, "Hey, idea. Instead of 25% of revenue or profits, how about we pay for half of it?" And I'm like, "Ooh, you'll pay for half? That would help so much." You go, "What if we pay for half? Can we split half of the profit?" And me and my partners didn't even look at each other and went, "Yes, of course. It's hundreds of thousands of dollars. You want to split it? Be our guest. Please, dude. Please help. That's incredible." And he kept saying, "So we have skin in the game." That was the thing Quinn or Norden and Quinn would say. "We want skin in the game." And I was like, "All right, you say that every meeting. We just want some skin in the game." I'm like, okay.
And where things truly begin to get like just whack, it seems, if Yola's claims are true, we haven't had a response from Rain yet, where he says, and then it comes down to the day of launch, where Rain just shows up and says he had no idea what the deal even was that they had struck.
48 days later is the launch. Still no contract signed. We ask every single day, and they go, "Bro, don't worry. Norton's he's just real busy right now. I'm going to get this contract signed for you. I just want to, get this done, skin in the game." I hate that he says it. I resented him saying it because he said it so much. Day of launch, Norton calls me. "Dog, 50%? You want me to put up 50%? I am in this room at this time already. It is, okay, the post he posted on Twitter that was said January 22nd. It was still going okay January 22nd. He hadn't posted in 2.5 months. Here we go. Launch day. Launch day happens and he's like, "Dog, what?" And I'm like, "Dude, we launched 6 hours ago and now you're just reading your own contract that you guys wrote." And this is where it starts to piss me off. I cannot talk to illogical people. Illogical people and irrational people piss me off because it doesn't make sense. The sun is out. No, it's not. No, but bro, the sun's out. No, dog, not in my eyes. The sun's not out. That's what I'm dealing with.
And then where Rain is saying that Eric Kahn, if you guys don't know, another green bean creator. We love monetization, but he's huge. Very well known across that industry and across content creation, where Rain apparently is trying to say, oh, Eric's going to post the videos for me. So it'll be the Dope is Yola collab with Recovery. That's FaZe Rain's brand. And FaZe Rain is who they were trying to sign with. But instead, it's going to be Eric making the videos, which it seemed like Yola and his side, they were kind of just going along with it. Like, hopefully it would correct itself. Hopefully Rain would eventually promote it himself personally. And so they kind of just went with it, but it was not the initial deal that everyone agreed upon.
The day of the launch, we have the party. We walk in and go, oh, Eric's with him? Sick. Eric walks in. I asked Norton, hey, well, yeah, what's up with Eric? He goes, Eric's part of Recovery. And I go, oh, your weed brand. And he goes, yeah, so that means he's part of the Stopest collab. And I go, what? I found out Eric was in the deal the day that we did that video, which is the day we launched. Yes, right before we launched. He walks into the dinner. I go, Eric's here? And I talked to Norton. He goes, yeah, he's part of the company, so he's going to be doing all my videos. And I go, what do you mean? He goes, and now I'm Norton. Hi, I'm Norton. The thing in the contract where I put a video on my channel once a month and get 50% of profits if I put up the money, great deal. He said, no, my guy Eric's gonna do it. He's gonna fill in for me. And in my head, I'm like, but I didn't do it Eric Khan collab. I did a FaZe Rain collab. I want it on your channel. That's the whole point. And I was like, you know what, it's fine. He says, dog, come on, you get 2 for 1. You get me on the channel and you get Eric on the channel. It's great. We're gonna sell out. And I was like, you're not wrong. That's cool. That's cool. And then later he goes, yeah, but you know, he's gonna be posting for me. And in my head, I'm trying to be, we're all having fun and smoking and chilling. And I'm like, it's okay. We'll deal with it later. We'll deal with it later. We'll deal with it later.
And another part that Yola mentions repeatedly is Rain apparently showing up to some of these big events like the launch party with lean on him, and whether or not he is supposed to be clean or recovering, but his brand name being Recovery, and then you show up to the launch party, this giant collaboration with lean. As a business professional, Yola and his side were like, yeah, that's definitely not the best look. And also goes on to say how his ego, Rain's ego, really started to get in the way of a few things.
And the thing that bugged me so bad, so it pissed me off, is this brand's called Recovery. This man doesn't do drugs. The man walks in with a cup of lean. I had to have the photographer edit around it. In Eric's comments of that video, you can see people, damn, Norton with the cup of lean. It's called Recovery and you're drinking lean at our fucking launch party. This is not good. John looked at me and was, he's drinking lean? And he went, not a good sign. I'm like, nah, dude, you used to drink lean. He goes, on launch party, I don't have a brand called Recovery. It's like, yeah, you're right. Okay, so, shit. So that party went over, who cares? Boom, launch day, he calls me, what's up with this split? I'm like, you guys wrote it. And he automatically, I didn't write it. I'm like, but your guy wrote it. Dog, I wasn't even aware of that. And I can't say, Norton, how is that my fault? You should have been on top of me, man. You should have been making sure that I was going on in this contract. I said, Norton, there's a million text messages in that thread. You have not responded more than one time. We've had 4 lunch meetings. You've showed up to none. To none. Nah, dog. And this is what pissed me off. Me and Rosie were about to leave somewhere. I'm in this living room on a call. I spent an hour. I remember I looked down and go, an hour and 44 minutes. I spent an hour and 44 minutes on the phone pacing. You could see my carpet where I had been walking in circles. I have a great temper. I can keep it under control unless you start being illogical with me and start telling me that I'm doing something wrong to you when I know exactly what I'm doing. I'm in the call and he's just going off like, nah, dog. You want me to drop money? Dog, Nike would pay me to do a collab. All the collabs I've ever done, I get paid up front, dog. You know who I am? And I was like, you know who I am? I remember when I was right by my kitchen counter and went, ugh. On the circle, I was doing a circle. I was crossing the kitchen counter and went, oh, God. And I just like, yeah, bro, I get it. You make a lot of money. You're FaZe Rain. I get it. You're rich.
And it was apparently by this time in the first month of launch or so where Rain hadn't really been fulfilling his posts. And Yola had a pretty heated response for how things were going this early on in the deal. Remember, though, there was a huge lead up, right, with this supposed proposed contract by Rain and Quinn. This was a contract written up by them, and everything was agreed to by both parties. And a lack of communication all the way up until launch day, where Rain apparently didn't know the deal that Quinn had put forth for him on his side. And then Yola had a lot to say towards Rain.
The render, and the next day he posted, and it pisses me off. And every time I bring it up, he goes, "Dog, why are you so pressed? Why are you so pressed? Actually pressed?" The way he talks to me, talks to my little brother Johnny, and it makes me upset. My little brother's 11. It's like, yo, chill out. You got a beard. And he's talking to me. "Oh, yeah, dog. Oh, that's right, that's right." And he's like, "Dude, I can make 80K for 3 posts." And I go, "Why didn't you just do that? Why are you complaining to me saying I could have made more money not dealing with you as you're trying to deal with me?" And I said, "Norden, you're not giving me confidence that you're going to care about this. This is day 1. Sorry, day 2, he posted on his Twitter a link that said, 'If you know, you know.' And it was an AI Ninja Turtle turning around with his dick out, like with his dick tucked between his legs. That's the post he posted for our collab. I text him, "Bro, for real?" He goes, "Dog, don't be so pressed, dog. It's just funny." And I go, "Norden, can you please post the pen? Can you post the product?" That was day 2 or 3. Because she knows if I'm on the phone for that long, she's like, something's wrong. And if I'm starting to yell, I started yelling like, "Bro, shut the fuck up." And then he just, "Dog." I'm like, no, let me speak. You've been talking for 1:40. And I went, "You're 26. You used to be a drug addict, and now you're getting better, right? All you do on the internet is talk about negativity." And this is when he was going after that girl online, when he was like ripping her apart. It was all over like the streamer things where he's like going at her like, "Well, I don't believe you, bitch." And anyway, you know what I'm talking about. He's making that girl cry. I'm not saying he's being mean about it. I'm saying that's the subject. When that was happening, I'm like, you're making this girl cry online. You're being hella sexist. You're being a weirdo. But you have every right to be. And I said, how about this, though? How about you be nice to people, actually give a shit? Because by the time you're 30 years old, you are going to fall off the face of the earth because nobody wants to watch a guy that doesn't game anymore, that used to be a gamer, sit there and talk Andrew Tate shit. Nobody wants to talk to a guy that's actually rude to them. Said, in 4 years, if you don't change, you're going to fall the fuck off because you are not as cool as you think. He went silent and went, "Dog, that was kind of fucked up." No. "Dog, you kind of hurt my feelings. That's fucked up." And that's why I put in that on Twitter, like, yo, all this manly shit will crumble. I swear to God, I heard and I went, did I just make him tear? I feel so fucking bad. I did not mean to do that. This fool's fragile as shit. In my head, I'm like, shut the fuck up. I'm just getting my point across. And in my head, little me is going, don't make this guy feel bad, bro. That's not cool. I'm still battling that, like, that's fucked up, dude.
And then Yola also goes on a rant of trying to explain to people how he's not a scammer. Like, whether it's $100,000 or whatever amount of money, he has never scammed anyone that he has worked with or collaborated with. You can ask around, and goes on his spiel of like, Rain has accused this guy on a public platform of scamming him of $100,000. That's a big accusation to make. And so Yola gives his spiel of like, I'm not a scammer. And, pleading with people to believe his side, and hence why he made this hour-plus long video, I imagine, as well.
Why would I scam someone? I'd even scam people when I sold weed. I would take packs back if they didn't like them. I don't understand the mentality here. No one's ever said anything bad about Push Trees, of me, my stuff. No one's ever said I owe him money. No one's ever said I owe him money for anything. No one ever said I talk shit to him in person. I was mean to him online. No one ever said I scammed him for money. Anybody that's ever said I didn't get their Push Tree stuff, I have DM'd them and they ask them. I personally put in orders. I spent almost 100K on this. I spent almost 100K on the meet and greets for free. And what did I do with the meet and greets across the tour? I gave away $5,000 worth of stuff from every single smoke shop and handed out to people online. I didn't sell anything. I didn't sell Push Trees. I didn't even sell Dopest. I didn't sell anything on the tour because I wanted to give back to everybody because I finally made money. And I said, can we just go on a meet and greet tour? That's why they were 18 hours. And I stood there for every single human being to have their full time, tell me what they want to talk about, take pictures. I broke the arch in my foot. I have 15 ruptured bulging discs in my spine. I have 15, all right? I'm 2 centimeters away from a wheelchair. Oddly enough, FaZe was in this. I'm not trying to, I'm not trying to do that. It's an odd, I'm not a scamming bitch is what I'm trying to say. Like, I'd rather be broke than scam someone. I don't understand how that's a real thing, that people would think that I would do that. And first off, be a piece of shit like that. Second off, risk ruining my own reputation on scamming people. It's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. Ask anybody that's ever worked for me or with me ever, have I paid you on time? Have I went above and beyond? Did I give you a bunch of weed when you left? And it's all fucking yes. So continue.
And where this gets really crazy is apparently 6 months into this collaboration and post-launch, where Rain has just stopped posting, apparently, which is not the deal they obviously agreed to. Keep in mind, what Yola's going to keep on reiterating is that original deal was that Rain and his team, they pay the 50% of costs, and thus they get 50% of profits if he is also posting once per month. According to Yola, he wasn't posting at all. And the things he was posting were things that weren't really helping the product reach a wider audience. Like he had previously mentioned, apparently one of the posts that Rain had done was an animated character with like his dick tucked behind his back, saying, if you know, you know.
Offered to lower, you said no. That was January 22nd. This is June. It's 6 months after the collab. Not one video has been posted. The contract has not been signed. He is still not paid for the cost. What am I doing wrong? Why am I the bad guy to this guy? I don't get that.
And this is apparently where Rain also is demanding 50% of those profits. And Yola says, well, you haven't paid for 50% of the cost, and you also haven't been doing the work. Thus, you're not eligible to receive the agreed upon 50%. And also reiterates that Rain keeps on calling him fat in these conversations and is being childlike in a lot of his responses as the two go back and forth via text.
And that's why I started getting pissed. I realized, like, oh, you just want to blame somebody and not take accountability. You still haven't done your end of the contract that you wrote. I didn't write that, dog. Anyway, what are we talking about? We're not playing? Maybe the sketchiest, weirdest group of people I've ever dealt with. I wish you N-words just hit me directly and didn't play it as weird as you did. Say less. Can't wait to pop the bubble with this fake nice guy shit you be doing. I'm at the beach, dude. I'm the one selling. Oh, also, guys, remember this real quick. Out of the entire gross sales, month one, Norden brought in 8% of sales. We have a track. I promise you there's a way to track and prove all this shit. This is what we do. We're a business. That's how we do collabs with people and promo. He brought in 8%. The other 92% of sales were returning customers. So he brought in 8% of sales, which is not good. We were hoping for like 30. Totally cool. You didn't do as good as you thought. Your name is not as big as we thought. We'll still pay you out. Just do the videos. This is a collab. Month two, like 4%. Month three, 4, 5. Nothing, because he still hadn't done anything. All the traffic came from me and Eric. After the first month, the first day was Eric, his side off because his video, weeks later. But I was posting monthly. Like, we did so many deals to get rid of his stuff because I told him, like, let's get rid of his stuff because I don't want to deal with him anymore. You've yet to drop one video, so we went and sold it without your help, which is a fact. The lower percentage is totally fair. He keeps saying 50%. It's only 50 if he put up half the money. The deal was 25. So if you did put up half the money, you should be bitching like, where's my 25%? Not 50. I don't know why he keeps saying 50. I was so mad at him at this point. I'm like, this is 5 months of you doing this to me.
And finally, we get to the numbers breakdown of all of this, a TLDR to this situation up front right now. We had Rain and Quinn on one side of the deal proposed. This alleged contract was written up, never officially signed, but it was agreed upon by all parties that Rain and Quinn, or on Rain's behalf, would pay 50% of those upfront costs for this launch and collaboration, and thus receive 50% of the profits after everything was done if he posts one video per month. Up to this point, apparently Rain had not posted much at all and had also not paid the 50% of those costs, and thus, according to Yola and his team, he wasn't eligible. Like, he hadn't been doing the contract requirements, so you're not going to get what's promised in the contract, which I think by a lot of business eyes, it does make sense. He eventually breaks down the numbers as well of this collaboration and launch, eventually grossing around or close to $200,000 in revenue. That is not profit. He says the profit was probably around $70,000 to $80,000. And he also says on the back end, they'd been tracking where those numbers had been coming from, and 92% of those customers for the collaboration were repeat or returning customers, leaving 8% to come for FaZe Rain and his promotion, which would make sense because according to Yola, Rain wasn't promoting the product to begin with. And then he starts to break down what is a fair amount to offer Rain for the actual work that he put in to the collaboration to begin with.
And I put, like I said, he put slide if you want to make claims like that. I'm not fucking 7, bros. I'm not in high school. Like I said, this is not I want to fight you thing. Yet you respond as if I did say that. Man, you need to smoke more weed for sure. Like, look at what you're even saying. It's not about the money, you retard. You want to keep making it sound like it's about that. The fact that you're the sketchiest, the weirdest, sketchiest end moms I've ever met. And I put this lean has you strung out. And I don't mean lean gets you strung out. When you don't have money and you don't have lean anymore, you're a dick. I know that because I know a lot of people that used to do drugs. And I didn't mean lean has you strung out. I meant, yo, you need lean. The lean is strung and making you strung out when you don't have it. Boom, sent me these numbers. I sent it over to him, and this is what you saw on Twitter. Pens have been sold. Gummies have 400 units, and we are going to give them away. We're not going to sell them. We're going to take a loss on the gummies because I don't want to deal with him anymore. Serves, we have 100 left, giving them away. Total sales, 193,656. The original deal is long gone. Here's a 5% name fee, I guess. And I said 5% of that is $9,682. Please send me your wire info, and I'll wire it now. Listen to what I'm saying. A lot of people are like, damn, 192, you're only giving them 10? 192 is gross revenue. It doesn't count cost, production, shipping, which shipping adds into your bank account. You got to pay the shipping at the end. Say you make $100,000, shipping is probably 15 to 20. I do push trees. I know exactly how much shipping usually costs. Production costs, there's another 100. We're in about 115, 120. The profit's about 70 bands. And we got it all sold. He didn't post anything. He didn't put up half the money. Still didn't sign the contract. There's about 70 bands here to play with. And I might be wrong. It might be less or it might be more. I'm saying the rough estimate. It's not 100 bands. It's like 80. And if that's true, half of it is ours if he paid for half. So it's 40. And he didn't pay for half. So half of that, 20. If this was the original deal, he's still only taking home 20K because he didn't do shit. If we sold everything, it would have been another 100 bands probably. I don't understand if he knows math.
And so eventually they settle around $9,000 or $10,000, which if the profit was around $70,000 to $80,000, we're talking around 10% of the profits going to Rain, which if you're going to consider all the things Yola has said about his work put into this collaboration, I think would seem relatively fair. I mean, the original agreed upon percentage was 50% of profits, but Rain didn't do the monthly posts, even the posts himself. And then he also didn't pay for all the upfront costs that was also agreed upon. So if you're Yola and your team, you're left wondering, what is a fair amount, which they came to $10,000. And that is where we lead to today, where because of that $10,000 that is still being offered and Rain apparently not taking it, he goes on a swag podcast and says it was $100,000, which based on what we've heard from Yola, is just not the truth. I do want to clarify, by the end of all of this, Yola does not want the negativity. He doesn't want the drama. We're still going to cover the story, but he didn't even post this on his own channel. This is just a place for everyone to go to that if they want a response from Yola on the FaZe Rain accusation, he's going to send them all here. He says he would never post this on his main channel and only wish the best for someone like FaZe Rain to get better.
I don't know what the lesson is, actually. I don't know what the lesson is. I thought everything was going great, and he's a business person, so I thought this would be great. It's not. But I will say this. There's a reason why you didn't hear me go on a podcast talking about this. Because I don't need the attention on me. I don't care about that. Like, I don't care about negative attention. I could have talked about this and give you a juicy story time and like a sick monetized podcast, but I didn't. I don't give a shit. Drama is something I do not care to have in my life. From me to you, this is the last time I'll talk about this, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. It's so early in the morning. I'm gonna start exporting this video and send it to Liger. I need his email. So, thank you guys for being here. I hope this cleared it up. And if this wasn't clear enough for you, I don't know what to say. If you agree with my side, that's great. If you don't, that's great. Totally, this is not, I'm just explaining everything. If you do agree or disagree, totally cool. I'm gonna take this away. I just wanna smoke weed and have fun and not be mean. And I'm still trying to be nice when you're being a dick. Because that's what you're supposed to do. He's 8 years old, younger than me. Maybe it took me to mature. Maybe I matured faster than he did. Because at 26, I would never act like that in business. But maybe he does. Maybe his parents raised him a little different. And maybe in 3 years, he'll grow up and be like, damn, dog, I was wrong. And it's okay. And that's fine. I'm okay with that. I'm secure enough in myself to go, it's okay if you think I'm a piece of shit. I don't. And I'm going to go home.
So at the end of all this, with what we know now, it is very hard to not be taking or leaning towards Yola's side of all of this. FaZe Rain made a gigantic accusation that he was scammed by Dope as Yola, who is also fat, in his own words, out of $100,000. According to Yola, Rain never obliged by any of their contractual obligations of paying for upfront costs, actually doing his posts, and when it came down to profits, you weren't eligible for 50% because you didn't meet the pre-requirements that every party did agree on. Also, beyond that, he says the total gross revenue was $200,000 for the entire collab. That was not profits, because if it was $200,000 in profits and Rain was owed 50%, if he was owed 50%, that is where I believe Rain is probably getting the $100,000 number from. But again, the original agreed upon amount was 50% of profits, which were around $70,000 to $80,000, which would mean if Rain did all of his stuff, he'd be eligible for $30,000 to $40,000. He didn't do all of his stuff, according to Yola, so they gave him $10,000 and wanted to call it quits. Rain didn't take the money, at least up to now, and then went to a podcast to complain about it and seemingly inflate those numbers. At least that's what it seems for now, unless Rain wants to respond and bring his own receipts. So until next time, I hope you guys all enjoy yourselves. All right, I just want to say this whole thing is ironic because I remember during the last several months, like Dope as Yola had Rain on a couple of times at least, and they were great podcasts. The dudes were just vibing and ripping and talking about FaZe and all these topics, and it was a great listen. So it's really sad to see it come to this, and we'll see if Rain does respond or if he doesn't. But yeah, till next time, hope you guys all enjoy. Take care of yourselves, water and coffee as per usual, and we'll see you back here sometime soon. Peace.